Alright, Assalamu alaikum. Can everybody hear me? Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yaser Salamah, and this is day 5 of my honors project, Tolerated Muslim in America. So every day this week I'll be doing a different theme of my experience growing up as a Muslim in this country, specifically post 9/11. Today's theme is trauma and coping. Right below me, right about here, you can see a QR code. If at the end of this performance you could come up and scan that QR code, there's a huge list of resources of ways that you can help about the specific topics I'll be discussing today. Because unfortunately these are very, very real issues, and as a result they have very real solutions. And there's no point in me doing this activism through art if you all leave here today and be like, oh wow, okay, cool, and go home and sleep. No, leave here doing something about it, because that's the only way we're ever going to see any kind of change in this country and in this world. So please scan this QR code when we're done today. I'll be doing 2 pieces, about 15 minutes total. The first piece today is called Jokes. And one of the jokes that I made that will be referenced in this piece, I made when I was walking right over there on that sidewalk. That's why I chose this space for this piece today. So, without further ado, my first piece of the day, Jokes.
Allahu Akbar!
Oh my god, I've wanted to do that for years. Are you guys scared?
Oh, no.
Worried maybe? A little confused? What are you feeling? Any tension? Here, let me translate.
God is great!
I made the joke my freshman year of college when I was standing right over there that one day I wanted to be on the quad or surrounded by a bunch of people and just scream Allahu Akbar as loud as I possibly could, just to see how people would react. It was funny. I'm so glad I got to do that before I graduated. It was so fun. It was funny. The jokes are always funny. Allahu Akbar! See? We got a few people laughing. I think it's hilarious. It is almost as funny as the time I went to visit Canada and this group of teenage white boys pulled up alongside me and my hijabi mother, started imitating gunshots and explosions, then tore down the freeway at 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Allahu Akbar. Boom! So creative. So funny. One of my favorite stories, though, this one genuinely, this one cracks me up for real. My sophomore year, I was in the Muslim Students Lounge, right? It was me and a few of my friends. And one of my friends, he decided he wanted to microwave his brownie. You know, because hot cosmic brownies, they seem like a good idea to him. So, he puts the brownie in, right? But instead of putting it in for 10 seconds like he planned, he left it in for a minute. A cosmic brownie, you know those ones with the little candies in them? Yeah, one of those on a paper plate in the microwave for a minute. When the microwave dinged, we took it out. Oh my god, that brownie, it was scorched. It was about as hard as this banister. The candies, they were gone. And the plate was glass. It was literally glass. There was this huge cloud of black smoke coming out of the microwave. So my guy, he picks it up, he runs outside, he drops it, and he just walks back in. It was so funny, and we were all cackling and laughing so hard, but we kept saying, oh my god, what if someone had seen you? That would have been so funny. Like, yeah, we got to laugh at that for ourselves. We got to have that moment for us. But what if others got to share in that hilarious accident, right? Like, just imagine a 6'4" black man running out of the Muslim Students Lounge with a metal box, billowing black smoke, dropping it in the dead of night and walking back inside. Hilarious, right? Imagine someone had seen that and called the cops, right? That glass brownie could have cost him his life. I'm cackling. When we talk like this, and we don't have to, when people who do not possess thick accents, specifically Arabs and Muslims, when we speak as though we do, it is funny, it is a good time, it's fun. Many of us like to do the fake Arabic voice, the fake Pakistani voice. It is fun, it is funny. We do it because some people would think we would sound like this anyway, no? Some people would assume that because we have an accent, we must not speak, English very well. some people think we would not speak English at all. It is funny because, many of our family members and community members who do speak like this, they're discriminated against their entire lives. Oh, it's so funny. The hatred, so funny, right? The jokes are always funny. Jokes are always funny. And, well, we have to joke. Because if we didn't, all we'd be left with was knowing that people weaponize our way of living against us. Allahu Akbar is a praising of God we say dozens of times a day in prayer. Everyone has heard a Christian say God is good before, but the moment a Muslim says it in Arabic, that's it, call the cops. So yeah, we joke, oh, haha, it would be so funny to see how all the white kids reacted to me saying God is great in Arabic because racism, haha. And it was funny. Don't get me wrong, I got a kick out of that earlier. Thank God. Because if it wasn't funny, all we would have as Muslims is the pain of seeing our worship painted as the exclamation of extremists by the media. That microwave story, genuinely one of the funniest memories of my life. I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard. And there was a part of me that in that moment feared for our lives. We were all there, we were all teasing him. He's never gonna live this down. It's been 2 years, and I'm never gonna let him live it down. But we were all joking and teasing him. We all said, oh, we're gonna know in 2 minutes if someone hurt you, because campus police, the cops, FBI, CIA, someone's gonna be banging on our door any second. We all collectively feared the worst. And we laughed. We joked. Because without laughter, it would have just been pain. Fear. The Arab accent, mine is not very good, which makes it better, I think. It makes it funnier, no? But we do it because we find amusement in it. We enjoy mimicking our family members, our community members, our friends. We do it for a reason. There's always a reason. Sometimes that reason is mimicking stereotypes in our own cultures. But the reason doesn't always matter, because we always make it funny, make it humorous. Because if we didn't laugh, we didn't find the humor in it, all we would be left with is the racism and the xenophobia that is making fun of people with accents. So yeah, we joke, we kid. Because if we didn't laugh, what else is there to do? Thank you. My second piece of the day, maybe a little bit more divisive, but I feel it's a necessary conversation to have and a necessary conversation to start. Again, specifically for this piece, please do scan this QR code at the end. Folks need your help. They really do. This one contains relatively graphic language of violence and death and trauma. If you need to step away at any point, please do so. This one is very difficult for me to get through. It's very difficult research. It's all based in fact and research. Unfortunately, I'm not making any of this up, names or otherwise. I once had a meeting about this very topic in this building, another reason I chose this location. So my second piece of the day, Falastini. I want you all to imagine something. Come with me and imagine for a minute. I want you to imagine a world, a place, where Jews, Christians, and Muslims live in peace and harmony with one another. In peace, as neighbors, friends, even. Imagine a Christian person going to pray at church while her Muslim friend prays at Masjid al-Aqsa. Imagine a Christian and their Muslim friend going to the birthplace of Christ in Nazareth together. Imagine a Jewish man inviting his Muslim and Christian college roommates over to his home for Shabbat dinner. Imagine all this happening in that strip of land between Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Peace in the Middle East. The so-called pipe dream, the supposed goal of so many world leaders, yet so supposedly unachievable. What, is too optimistic? Naive, maybe? Maybe a reality we would all love to see, but we just don't think can ever come to fruition. It could have been real. That could have been where we were right now, today. Instead, Yaser el-Kolak survived as 22 of his family members were murdered by Israeli forces. Instead, 10-year-old Aziz, who once had a family of 24, is now growing up entirely alone at 10 years old. The other 23 members of his family were killed by an Israeli airstrike. Instead, Shukri Kolak survived and named his fallen family members from pain in a hospital bed. His mother, his father, his brother, his oldest sister, his stepsister, his wife, his oldest child, his 16-year-old child, his daughter, his nephew, his niece, his nephew's wife, her 3-month-old child, 5 of his cousins, and all of his cousins' daughters. All of them, every single one of them was murdered by Israel. For what? All this, and for what? All this because Zionism is colonialism. All this because Zionism is apartheid. All this because Zionism is the attempt to erase an indigenous people, Palestinians, from the planet. But after 73 years, Palestine lives. Palestine cannot be destroyed. You can revoke statehood. You can revoke land as they have. You can attack survivors young and old, but you cannot, you will not ever destroy Palestine. So long as a Muslim breathes the air of this earth, so long as anyone with a conscience remains active in the pursuit of justice, Palestine lives. There is justice and freedom for none until there is freedom for all, and so let it be known that from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I will visit the Dome of the Rock by flying into Gaza International Airport. My children will visit the birthplace of Christ in Nazareth. My family will run into the gorgeous sea at the beaches of Palestine. I will taste the best food to ever touch my lips from a Palestinian vendor. I will visit and pay my respects to Ibrahim, whose name and grave remain a symbol of unity and of peace and of love between our 3 faiths. And I will do the same for both of his sons. Not just Ismail, but Ishaq, Isaac. I will do this. Insha'Allah, I will do this, and I will be able to do this because Palestine will be free. But Palestine cannot be free until Zionism dies. Zionism is ethnic cleansing. Zionism murders children. It destroys generations of families. Zionism is evil. Evil. To deny that is to deny that the well-documented murder for sport and bombings are happening. I can prove that. Check out those resources. Or to deny that murdering children is evil. One can either close their ears and close their eyes and run in the opposite direction and pretend that the Israeli government, that the entire militaristic regime, that this so-called state isn't rooted in ethnic cleansing. You can pretend that, or you can say that ethnic cleansing is not that bad. Either way, you are wrong for that. So I need you. I need you. If those two don't apply to you, if you are neither of those things, you are not a Zionist, and I need you. I need you to help me fight for justice, fight for equity, fight for peace. Please. Because the more of us who fight, and the harder we fight, the sooner it will finally be true. That from the river to the sea, Palestine is finally free. Thank you.
Again, please scan this QR code for resources, and if you have any questions, barring hate crimes, please come to me and speak to me about them. Thank you.